Okay, so Windblown, the game, is going to be coming out on the 24th of October, so just a couple days from now, from the time of recording. This will probably go up tomorrow, like on the 23rd or something. But right now, I kind of just want to go over some of the runs that I was doing today. I do mess around a little bit and kind of look around for secrets and stuff to see what I can find. But I'm going to be honest with you, I tend not to look too deep for that stuff. What I'll probably end up doing is, I bet somebody on YouTube is going to end up making like a secrets guide, where they pretty much just show all the possible secrets that can spawn and stuff. But you'll see me kind of slamming my head against a lot of waterfalls, trying to see if there isn't anything behind them. Don't worry about it too much. Mainly just pay attention to the demo, where I try to showcase off a bunch of the weapons and maybe talk about some of the gripes that I have with some of them, and some of the things that I love about some of them. So here you can see me just try to see if there's like a secret going on there. There isn't. I just found like a weird janky part of the map. This is the beat bolt. I really like the beat bolt. I like the little mini game that you got going on with it, where pretty much every shot after the first is gonna lead to you critting. And then we see me picking up the heavy blade, which is honestly right now it's probably my favorite weapon in the demo. It just feels really good. What the devs decided to do is they decided to make it so that the attacks on the heavy blade, so far I've only noticed this with the heavy blade and the charge blade, which are like really heavy weapons that take a bit of a commitment when you attack. They have a stagger mechanic, so if the attack is, I guess, heavy enough, what it'll do is it'll actually kind of make the enemy reel back a little bit. You actually saw it there with that, whatever the hell that enemy's called. But yeah, when the enemies get hit with the heavy blade, it causes them to kind of take a little bit of knockback, so you can CC them into the rest of the chain of the combo. Because the hardest hitting part of the combo of the heavy blade is like the 5th part of the combo. So you need some way to stop the enemies from moving or retaliating on you. There's the alter attack. It's also super powerful. If you have a ranged weapon in the primary slot, the heavy blade in the secondary, if you're just using it for alter attacks, super good for doing that. Mind you, I'm hoping that it's not a weapon that ends up in like alter attack jail, where people pretty much only use it for that. But so far I've been liking it a lot as a primary weapon, just because it has that stagger effect on the autos. Again, just trying to find like weird secrets that might be around the map. So there's a few things that I want to talk about. I've heard a lot of people compare this game to Hades. I'm gonna be honest with you, this game doesn't play anything like Hades, and I don't really see the comparison either. The game, just because it's isometric, like it's got that sort of like top-down view, I'm sorry, it'd be like comparing Risk of Rain 2 and Hyper Light Breaker. The games like look a little similar, but they just don't play anything like each other. And just because they're both in the roguelite genre, I don't think you can compare isometric and roguelite. Like, they're just not the same thing, right? It's like pasta and, it's like a macaroni and spaghetti. Like, they're both pasta, but like, when you want macaroni, you don't want spaghetti, you know? If somebody handed you a bowl of macaroni, and you're like, hey, ask for spaghetti, like, they're not the same thing, you know? They're both good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I hate Hades by any means. I mean, it's definitely not my favorite roguelite, but yeah, they're so different. Hades has a bigger focus on the knowledge of the game, I want to say. Like the keywords of the boons that you pick up, like what the effects are and stuff. It has a bigger focus on that, where I would say that Windblown has a bigger focus on just your skill, in like a micro sense. Like, how good are you at pressing buttons on your controller? Because in Hades, you just kind of reach this point where if you know the right items and stuff to look for, the game will just kind of play itself for you. Like, you reach a point where you can just kind of hold down one button, and that's all you gotta do. And you can just take that all the way to Chronos. And Windblown, you're not just gonna press one button. I have ran into a couple runs, like for example, the Raven Blade is like a really big offender, where you can just dodge and press the jump attack button, because the jump attack hits for huge damage. It gives you iframes while you're in the middle of the air, I'm not convinced that it's gonna make it to the main game in its current state. It feels really, really like unbalanced. Not unbalanced in the sense that it's like a super broken weapon. I just mean it feels unbalanced in the sense that you're so rewarded for just spamming the jump attack button rather than just, you know, like actually using the majority of the weapon. Here I'm just kind of taking a look at how the characters look when they enter the sauna. I really... the sauna, what am I talking about? The little hot springs area. I think this is just like a cute little thing that the devs decided to do. I like it. I don't know if everyone's a fan of it. Not that I care. I really like Windblown. If other people don't like it, I mean, hey man, you're lost. This game is super awesome. At least the demo is. So I'll be really surprised if the actual game itself isn't amazing. So that was the first run. I'm gonna try to showcase different weapons in the different runs. I think I do like 3 more after this, but they're all relatively short because I just start breezing through them. Trying out some of the other races. So far, the Basilisk is my favorite. I like lizards. What can I say? I think they're cool. We're just got this little cutscene and just jump straight into the run. Katars, big fan of the Katars. Although I will say that they feel a little janky to use sometimes. I found out that you can't just press and hold spam the Katar's teleport like you can the Ravenblade jump, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, the weapon does run into a little bit of jankiness issues. I hope that they kind of fine-tune it a little bit at some point, but for the most part the weapon feels pretty good. Not too sure how to feel about the alter attack. It's really powerful, but I feel like the bleed... oh god, what am I doing? I'm just getting hit by this guy. Toss around like a salad. I feel like the bleed infusion, I don't super understand how bleed works in this game. I feel like for every stack of bleed that the enemy has, they take more damage from your attacks, but it doesn't feel like it's based on a percentage of the damage that you deal. It just feels like a flat damage number, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking that bleed is probably going to be better with weapons that hit a lot rather than weapons that hit really hard. I haven't explored all... yeah, there's the baby. I love this thing so much. The combo feels really slow, but at some point in the video I do figure out that you can actually make the combo faster by dashing in the middle of it. And here I'm just trying to figure out the timing for like the alter attacks and stuff. Also, I have noticed, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but sometimes when I try to press the alter attack and the indicator for it is still like above my character, I press the button input and nothing happens. I don't know if that's just a me thing. My controller like maybe isn't registering inputs properly, or if other people have experienced that. So here I'm discovering that you can actually make the combo a little bit faster if you dash after the character slams the blade down onto the ground on the second hit. You can see like it's just a little bit faster. And now that I've discovered that, I'm obviously going to be abusing it, because the heavy blade is one of those weapons where like its major weakness is just the fact that it's slow. So if you have little text to make it... wow. I was really trying to pick that trinket up there. But yeah, it's one of those things where if you can make it faster, like, why wouldn't you, you know? Especially if it doesn't take that much effort. I will say though, I love the fact that they made it so that the heavy blade, a secret that isn't really a secret. I don't know what's going on there, but I love the fact that the heavy blade, they made it so that you can keep the combo going even after dashing or even after repositioning a little bit, so that you can attack a couple times, dodge, reposition, and then go back to like the third or fourth part of the combo. Because if you had to reset that combo every single time that you moved or dash, man, that would feel terrible. I will say, Ravenblade, the jump attack is broken, and also the alter attack is super busted. Even if you don't like the Ravenblade's actual like 5-hit combo, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not crazy about it. I wish that it started critting after the third part of the combo rather than the fourth and fifth. Like, man, just look at that. It does a lot of damage. You're completely invincible through the whole thing. Yeah, it just feels really, really, really good. Here, I'm not really reading what I'm picking up because, again, it's just a demo, so not much point in actually like getting invested in trying to optimize the hell out of the run. Now I'm pretty much almost at the end of this run anyway, so you know, obviously when the full game comes out, think about that stuff, but like right now, who cares? I don't want to spend 10 years in a menu thinking about what upgrades I want. Here I'm just kind of messing around because I haven't seen this enemy variant before. That's not true. I have seen it before, but I killed it, like I literally instantly killed it as soon as I saw it. As it was dying, I realized that it was a new variant because I just saw things moving on my screen and I just murdered it. So I'm just kind of examining what he's doing here. And then he emotes at me and I'm like, ah, that's hilarious. But yeah, at this point I've seen enough and I'm like, this guy needs to die. Very cool. I really like the enemy like iterations, the variants, that's what it's called. Shurikens, I'm really curious to see how this is gonna work in the main game. Hoping it feels better than the kunais. I do show off the kunais at some point in the video, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think they're strong. I think they're strong, I think they're good. I think they also feel super clunky and I don't like to play with them. And it's not because it's a ranged weapon, because I really like the beat bolt. I think the beat bolt feels amazing, but I do not like the kunai. Trinkets in this game, trinkets are really OP, like you should be using them. At first I wasn't really sure how I felt about all the trinkets having like a 30-second cooldown. Not all of them do, by the way, that's an exaggeration. But most of them are gonna have like 25 seconds or up on the cooldown. There are some exceptions, like just the standard grenades has like a 10-second cooldown, so you can get a lot of uses out of it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't usually gear towards like tiny little pocket grenades. I like to have like a big boom for when I really need it. This boss, honestly, is really easy. You just dodge the first two attacks and then dash behind him on the third. You don't even have to dash the first two attacks. You can just kind of walk past them or just stay like pretty far out of his range and then just dive behind him and do your big combo. Or you just ultra attack, spam through it because they get iframes. Also, to the developer that did like the tail physics on the basilisk and the little like wiggle physics on the fin on the back of its head, it's so cute, it's so perfect, and I love you. I don't know who you are, but from me to you, I personally, I love you. Thank you. So here we're going to be jumping into the next run after I stop being delusional and thinking that there's a secret behind that waterfall. I feel like I've checked that same waterfall every single time that I've come through there, and nothing changes. But I do mess around and kind of show off the different races as well. Just because, you know, I haven't completely decided that the basilisk is my favorite. You know, maybe I find out that I like the bat more, but no, it's a lie. I like the basilisk a lot. So straight into the next one. I think this is one of the runs where I show off the... Yeah, okay, yeah, it's the kunai. This is a disaster. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't lose this run because, like, I don't really think you can lose the demo. It's so easy. God, that sounds so mean. I'm sure there's people that have lost the demo. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about that, but... The way that the kunai works is... when you just press the button, you'll throw out the kunais. And every hit that they do to an enemy, also I realize I just missed the chest there. Every time they hit an enemy, they're going to put a stack of curse on that enemy. At any point, you can press and hold the button to pop the curses. You get to like expunge the curses like a Twitch poison from League of Legends if you've played that. But the amount of button mashing that you're doing feels really bad. So at this point I realize, I'm like, I really hate button mashing. So I turn on auto combo, but here's the thing about auto combo. now you don't get the option of pressing and holding the button at any time. You actually have to finish the entire kunai combo. And that's the only time that they're gonna pop. Which feels really terrible, as you can see. Oh boy, that felt awful. If it doesn't look as bad as I'm making it sound, I urge you to pick up kunais and turn on auto combo and see how that feels. I promise you're gonna be like, this is the worst. It's the worst. Don't do it. As annoying as it is to just sit there and mash the button 6 times and then press and hold it, unfortunately, that is clearly the gameplay that the devs intended. I guess it's more because of the way that the shuriken combo like works, because you throw out like 5 shurikens at once on the, is it the 5th or the 6th attack? I'm not sure, but essentially the last hit of the shuriken combo throws out more shurikens than the entirety of the rest of the shuriken combo, right? So you really have to sit there and just mash the button a bunch of times, and it just feels really bad. I don't know. The shurikens are by no means weak. Like, the damage that they deal is decent enough, and I don't know how much I care for the debuff, but yeah, they're pretty good. I pick up the charge blade here. I love this weapon. I really, really love this weapon. So if you don't know what the charge blade is, it's probably because you haven't unlocked it in your demo. The way that you have to unlock it is you have to go on a fresh save, and you have to make it to the mini boss of the run on a fresh save. If you beat it, you get to take on a mini boss from the second biome that's only in the streamer demo for now. Then you do a bunch of elite enemies, and then you get to a new variant of that first mini boss, but it has like 20 times the amount of HP. And if you beat it, then you get to unlock the charge blade. So here I'm kind of showing off how the charge blade works. If you played Monster Hunter, it plays kind of like the greatsword in Monster Hunter, where it has like a 3-hit combo, but you can press and hold to charge the attack during any point of the combo. So ideally you press and hold and charge up all 3 parts of the combo, and each of those is going to be critting for massive damage. The difference between the charge blade in Windblown and the greatsword in Monster Hunter is that you don't really have to charge it up for very long in Windblown, and you can completely dominate some of these encounters, because just like the heavy blade, it also has a stagger effect on the attacks. I'm not gonna lie, I think the charge blade is really, really, really OP. I haven't messed too much with its alter attack, but I think it might be able to just knock enemies off the stage and instantly kill them. And if that's the case, I mean, there's some really funny stuff you can do with that. Now, I would normally go to the left here, but I haven't actually seen a shop spawn in the runs at all. So I decided to just come in here and investigate what it is. It's just a bunch of healing items. I'm gonna be honest with you, I almost never heal in these games. Like when I played Dead Cells in 5 BC, one of the things that I had to train myself out of was healing, because you just shouldn't be taking damage in the first place. And you can see here, like, I do use the Shuriken's alter attack a little bit, but I'm gonna be honest with you, you really are not getting that much damage out of the Shuriken. Like, I press and held it when I had 6 curses, and it only did like 45 crit damage. It was really, really pathetic. I'm gonna be honest with you, the Shuriken just really isn't that great unless you put max curses on an enemy. Like, it's one of those weapons where after you use the alter attack for it and you put 5 curses, you don't just detonate those 5 curses, you keep stacking until it's maxed out. Like, you're really, really incentivized to use, or not the Shuriken, sorry, the kunai. Pretend every time I said Shurikens, I meant the kunai. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, I just don't think it feels very good. And then here, I think I do one more run. I would use the axolotl, but I'll be honest with you, I really don't like the look of the axolotl that much. I think it looks kind of weird. The way that its face is structured just looks kind of bizarre. It looks like a baby with a really big head. Echo. Ooh, the Echo gift I think is super good, especially on heavy weapons. I think that the Echo gift is absolutely amazing. So how it works is a portion of the damage that you deal to an enemy, after you stop attacking them, it's going to echo that damage back onto them. So a lot of these enemies, you'll see me leave them at 1 HP on purpose, because when I walk away from them, they just die. This is another one of those weird enemy variants. It's a chicken thing. I don't really know how its attack works that well, because every time I've seen it, I've just completely murdered it. And there you go. Secret behind the well. The well? The waterfall. Dude, I can't English, man. Oh, I'm so goofy. Yeah, you can see what I mean, like... I could stand there and just keep attacking the enemy, but I feel like once the full game is out and some of the encounters get harder and harder and you need to pivot your focus from enemy to enemy more often, I think Echo is going to get more and more value. Decide to pick up the guitars here just because, but I don't think I actually end up using them that much because I just love the heavy blade. It feels right. When I play Dead Cells, even on 5BC, where a lot of people don't really like to use heavier weapons because they kind of fall out of viability, as the enemies get faster and they deal more damage, so it becomes less good to have things that are slowing you down. I still used the heavy weapons. Survival was my go-to every single time, although I never used shields because I was a psychopath. Although when I did finally do like a shield build, it was really OP. Made the final boss essentially just kill himself because I used the spike shield, and he just kept hitting himself for ridiculous damage. And I had the mutations that like healed you every time he attacked into it. So yeah, I was just full health the entire time, watching the boss essentially just kill himself. It was the funniest shit ever. Goo Bomb, I actually really like this one, but it's clearly more beneficial for like a range build. There I tried doing an alter attack, but I think I messed up the timing, the order. I'm gonna be honest with you, if you want to use the kunai, don't use the kunai, just use the beat bolt, man. The minigame is really not that hard to understand. I literally never play rhythm games, and I have the timing down really well. It's not as unforgiving as the what's it called? That guitar weapon in Dead Cells, where like if you have like the beat perfectly, it crits, and you can like infinitely hold the crit, but the timing was like really awkward. It's not like that in this game. The timing feels really good and generous, and yeah, just use the beat bolt. Also, the alter attack is unbelievably good. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, look at this. And then he dies to the Echo. Like, wow, that looked really hard, right? That would have been a completely different fight if I was using the kunai instead. Just use the beat bolt. I'm hoping that maybe the devs see this and they decide to give the kunai some better treatment, but you never know. Don't be surprised that some weapons are just vastly better than others in these types of games. That's how it is in pretty much every roguelite. I haven't seen one that's like super well balanced where all of them are, you know, comparative. Just use the beat bolt. It's just the better ranged weapon. Here, I don't know. Oh, actually, probably the reason why the healing flasks leave this weird like pool on the ground is so that you could heal your friends with them. I keep forgetting that this game is actually, like, they're really pushing the co-op aspect of it. Mind you, I'm probably not going to be playing much co-op because out of my friends, not a lot of them like to play roguelites. But yeah, this has been Windblown, the demo at least. Please wishlist this on Steam. I hope that this game gets more attention. It's really awesome, and I hope to see a lot of people playing it.